welcome back to the Molecast. I'm Dodo, and today we have a special guest, Lee Herrmann. Lee Herrmann is quite clearly the go-to man for anything zombie-related in South Africa. The novels and guides he has penned bring something enjoyable to any local zombie fan, due to the ease at which Herrmann has integrated the scenes of his post-apocalyptic vision into the everyday life of the average South African like you and me. Be it from the highways and roads around South Africa to the beautifully serene but deadly bushveld, the novels provide the South African reader with images of every holiday trip or trip to work. Welcome.
Thank you so much. You make it sound so...
Well, you know, I read them and I really enjoyed it, so I wanted to give a little bit back there. So, for you at home that haven't been behind the scenes here, basically what we're going to do is we're just going to have a little bit of an interview and a little bit of a pop quiz. So see how well you do at home, and we might have something good for you at the end of the video. So, Lee, what made you write a South African zombie series?
It came from two perspectives, actually. One was wanting to write something, and again, within the local landscape. And it actually came to me in a dream.
Oh, that's cool.
A lot of it. So when I was at university, I was doing movie reviews, and I really got into zombie movies, especially. And then I started dreaming about it, and you know, the more I dreamt about it, the more it just kind of stuck in my mind. And then it's one of those. I wish it sounds cliche, but it was an aha moment when it just suddenly it makes sense. And the title, Journal of the South African Zombie Apocalypse, was supposed to be a joke at first, but then it kind of settled into it, and that's what it was.
I have to say I'm quite impressed, because normally the rest of us would consider those nightmares. So good job on turning nightmares into something very good. Why the diary style of storytelling in both the actual novels?
I just find it's a lot more personal, and first person you can kind of get a perspective, especially from a young person, and it's a easy way to kind of uncover a new world, seeing it from someone's perspective rather than trying to have to explain it by a third person. Plus, it's easy to write first.
Fair. So your characters feel like people we can easily identify with in some way. Where do you draw your inspiration from when creating them?
I wish I could give you like a smart answer and say, but look, obviously there's a lot of yourself in characters. You draw off your influences. But the whole idea is also to use like a young person in order to obviously target young adults with books. So using a young, impressionable person, it just made sense. But yeah, I mean, you just kind of start, you know, your own experiences, and yeah, most of the characters is just, you know, you just make them up as you go along, to be honest.
Well, I'm very glad you did. You write about South African landscapes such as the bushveld. Do these settings come from personal experience or armchair research, basically?
I hate doing research. if it's not something I know, I make it up. I like making stuff up. Research is painful. I struggle to. Wikipedia is my research. I shouldn't admit that. That's what it is. Now, the first book, Journal of the South African Zombie Apocalypse, it's literally, I used to live in Brooklyn for a while, and so those streets, it's what I used to navigate, and that whole journey where they go to, I think with the exception of Middelburg, I've been to every one of those places.
Ah, fantastic. So,
yeah, so that whole trip, just, I kind of try to make it authentic by doing a journey that I was familiar with. And then the second one, the KB's log, those are my own experiences. I've got a very old friend of mine who's in nature conservation, and while he was studying, I used to go visit him at the national park where he used to work. So a lot of those behind the scenes was experiences that I had in the bush with him, and just kind of translated that into.
That's very cool. That's very, very cool. Tell us more about the differences in the stories of Con and KB and the humour they used to get through their dire situations.
Yeah, Con kind of developed himself. I started with him, and with the first book, I knew where the ended. It was just getting there. With KB's log, it was the opposite. I actually knew where it started. I didn't know where it was going to end. So Con kind of developed through the book. And then KB was a reaction to Con. So she's a direct opposite to him in every way. physically as well as personality-wise. That there was a conscious choice to make them polar opposites to each other. So yeah, they kind of, you know how it is. They take their life on of their own, and they kind of start leading you down the story. But with Con, I definitely wanted him to be more naive, and he was sheltered. His dad sheltered him, whereas KB was a lot more defiant. She was a lot more confident. So I knew she I had a better plan with when I started writing. I knew exactly how she wanted to be. She's based on someone I knew. Her name, full name, and everything. Someone that really exists, who has family in that area, and kind of took bits and pieces from her story and her life.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, that was quite fun to do.
And for those of you at home, I would suggest going and reading both, just so you can do your own comparisons and see if any of this relates directly to you as well. What was the most difficult part for you to write in these books?
Apart from actually having to sit down and write, it's a thing all writers struggle with. We've got all these ideas, we've got all the plans, but actually physically sit down and put the pen to paper, the words to the Word document is always difficult. I enjoy it. I find writing, not to sound arrogant, I find it relatively easy to do, but within the books, maybe I don't want to spoil, I don't know if spoilers, review spoilers here, but
spoilers may be becoming, watch out.
If you've read the books, the noble sacrifices in the two books, those were hard to write, especially the first one, since I lost my father and I was there when he passed, so I channeled some of that, and also as I'm a father of two sons myself, so I shed a tear writing that a bit. But otherwise, the rest, when you really enjoying it, then it comes easy. When you really immersed in it, then it's the editing. That's the key.
I can believe
when everyone starts pointing out, oh, but he did this here, but he's doing that there, and what happened between this and this, and you're like, I don't know.
It's a story.
It's just there. But you need to be called sometimes on your bullshit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah.
That'll be a Linda for you at home, but yes.
But yeah, it's an enjoyable process, and it's nothing more satisfying once you have a finished product.
Fair enough. Any interesting things that you thought of but didn't make it into the book? You did touch on that previously about all the ideas of making it onto paper.
There's a lot of this came from actual genuine discussions I had with my business partner, publisher, best friend, Stephen. It's a crime. It's kind of like a brother to me. So we used to sit and discuss the zombie apocalypse. What would you do? What would you do in this instance? And so a lot of those discussions find its way into the book, and that's how I evolved into survival guides as well and stuff like that. So to actually try and pinpoint some of the stuff, it's a blur. I think there's still a lot of stuff we left on the table that can make it into future books.
Good news.
Yeah. So the second book was a direct result of a question someone had of the first book, saying it's in Africa. How would it affect the animals? Which sat in the back of my head for almost probably 5 years plus before we actually started.
And that was actually I found one of the most intriguing bits of the book is actually finding out how that works. Read the book, find out if it's well worth it. Have you hidden any fun Easter eggs or sly references in your books?
There's a few, but again, they were just mine. The first book, Caplejo, worked in a call center. I worked in a couple of companies with it. I wasn't in the call center, but I worked with guys that were exactly like that, so that was a reference to that. The whole Akrabis thing, that's where I spent a lot of my time when my friend of mine was game ranging, so I wanted to explore that more, but we didn't get around to it. Like I said, the whole Brooklyn, that's where I lived. Yeah, there's a couple of, again, just more, not so much clever little Easter eggs, but more just references to stuff that was in my life.
Well, on that note, I actually picked up quite a few personal Easter eggs, like as I said in the intro, I've been down those streets. Weeks of many holidays I've actually had around the country, so I actually quite appreciated those little nods and nuances in the books as well. Are there any authors that have inspired you?
Yeah, I'm not one of those where, I have, my favorite, I will walk around with a Kafka t-shirt on or something. But I have been influenced over the years, obviously. Books I thoroughly enjoyed, To Kill a Mockingbird, Catch-22, they had a big impact on me. Even A.A. Milne, Winnie the Pooh, just turns of phrases that influence just the way I approach certain writing. But yeah, a lot of the classics. And then, as long as I like things with a slight variation to the way that it's written. So sometimes I'll find a pulp novel that I'll really enjoy. Sometimes it's something random. So I'm always reading something.
That's always good. I approve wholeheartedly.
Yeah, and obviously comic books. I mean, I grew up reading. I mean, that's defined is probably how I write, and I enjoy writing dialogue. And I think comic books helped a lot with that because that's just it's speech bubbles the whole time. So I like writing dialogue a lot.
Do you believe in writer's block?
It's a nice excuse when I'm lazy, I think, but I don't think I've ever suffered from writer's block where, like you see in the movie, where it's been months. Yes, you'll write yourself into a corner, or you'll kind of hit a little bit of a dead end to think yourself. Especially with KB's log, I hit a couple where it was, okay, now what happens? Where do they go from here? And KB's log sat the first 4 or 5 chapters sat for about 5 years before I got back to it, because then we did the survival guides. But I usually find a change of scenery. It's going to sound weird, but most of my ideas come at a urinal. Get up, go to the bathroom, and it's usually by the time you're walking back, you've got an idea. So you have to get up. You have to just kind of change your scenery, get away from the screen for 5 minutes, and hopefully the answer comes to you.
Brilliant, thank you. I will definitely use that when I need it. If you had to write under a pseudonym, what would it be?
Writers were arrogant, we want the credit. I don't know, I'll just probably make something, Peter Lemangela, something like that.
I like it. I'll look out for the next novel under Peter Lemangela. Do you have any inspirational words for future writers?
Just keep writing. Just keep jotting down those ideas. Keep writing. I find that the most productive way is just to keep plowing through. Don't find an excuse. Oh, it's not working out, or whatever. Just then work on a different part. Come back to that part, but always keep making the notes. Never throw your notes away. I can't tell you how many times I've gone back, and even if it's for one story, you end up using it in another one. Always I've got books full of, I've got drawers full of notebooks, and just keep writing, keep putting that pen to paper.
Very, very good advice. You should take it. If you don't, it's your own fault. So you wrote these books as solid survival, the survival guides as solid survival guides. Do you think the advice in them would be applicable to an actual zombie apocalypse? Obviously you do, because you wrote the things, but please give us what you feel is the most important tip.
It's a bit of a downer, but I always tell people that the real threat of a zombie apocalypse isn't the zombies, it's your fellow man. Because unfortunately, we haven't had a great track record as a species, and our base default is self-preservation, selfishness. So, I mean, if you watch any of these apocalyptic movies, we always turn on each other. We always, instead of uniting to fight the threat, we kind of turn on each other. So I think the main crux of is just to keep your sanity, and try and do the right thing and help as many people as you can, because you can't be every man for himself. Realistically won't work. Oh, and aim for the head.
So the first bit, usable in every day. Second bit, be a little bit more cheesy on that one. Seeing as they include tests in your survival guides, we've put together a little bit of a zombie pop culture quiz for you.
Oh, I'm be a fraud now.
In the Zombieland film, what is the first rule?
Cardio.
100%. Who directed Night of the Living Dead?
George Romero.
100%. What is the title of the zombie parody book based on a Jane Austen novel?
Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
100%. In which Michael Jackson video do we see him dance with zombies?
Thriller.
Nice. What is the name of the pub in Shaun of the Dead?
Christ. No, that I don't know. And I have seen it, and I can see it, but I don't know.
If it helps, most of the old people forgot as well. It's the Winchester.
Yeah,
Named after the Winchester rifle above the bar.
Well, I was thinking supernatural, but I don't know how I didn't remember that.
What does the T stand for in the Resident Evil's T virus?
Ah, shit, I know this. And I love those forms. Don't know.
Tyrant. I actually didn't know that before.
I
we
didn't
did
know
this.
that.
Well, here's a nice one to get you back on track. Which band released the hit Zombie?
The Cranberries.
In The Walking Dead, what is the name of Negan's baseball bat?
Lucille.
100%. In DC Comics, which Lantern Corps was comprised of the undead?
The Black Lantern.
100%. This one is, I would say, the crux of all of our questions. In the Evil Dead series of movies, what is Ash's full name?
Oh, Christ. I don't think I even know that. Because I've seen them.
To be honest,
Ashley something? Ashley Jones?
very close. Ashley Joanna Williams. Ash is the
I
nickname.
learned something.
Once again, it's one of those I learned today as well. And then also, one more surprise question, but I think you'll like this one. Is there a question you've always wanted to be asked about your books, but have yet to be asked?
No, actually, I don't know.
Good job, other reporters.
No, I've never really thought of it from that perspective. You get some weird other guys come and lay out their full apocalyptic plans. They're invited to go see weapons. You get some really, really strange questions. But no, I don't think there's anything I personally feel like, what about me? No.
Oh.
I'll give it some thought. Give me a couple of things to think
Oh, that's okay. We'll have you back after the next book.
Yeah, hopefully.
If you're a zombie fan, these books are a must-read. South African or not, readers can easily relate to the characters as they are fundamentally human and grow with every situation. The lessons you can learn from any of these books will easily allow you to survive the zombie breakout, as well as be a more understanding and well-rounded human being. These books show the hardiness of the South African people, as well as the camaraderie you've created when we are all that we have left. Lee and the wonderful people at Tall Tales Publishing have also provided us with an awesome goodie bag with all 4 of these books to give away to one lucky subscriber. All you have to do is comment down below with your favourite zombie movie. Thank you very much, Lee.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the Molecast. We hope to have you back, and we hope that we have like a 13, 14 book series.
Stay prepared.
Cheers, everybody. Remember, read up for the zombie apocalypse, and we'll see you when it happens. Hi everybody, I'm Dylan from the Molecast, and if you like that, share, like and subscribe, and we've got something else for you around here somewhere.